soon as we possibly can. It happens monthly, although there isn't one next month for complicated kings getting a shiny hat reasons. But that's, we'll be back in June, I think, and then we'll carry on forward. So that's what it's all about. This is also the first official event of our new 3-year span of time with the Arts Council as an MBO. So you see lots of organisations, particularly the new organisations to the portfolio, doing lots of shouting about the fact this is the start of a new MBO cycle. Those of us that have been MBOs for a long time are very jaded about the whole thing, we're just carrying on and not really making a fuss, and then we'll probably be in trouble for that in about 3 weeks' time, but there you go, that's working with the Arts Council. But this is the first official event. So at some point, I don't know whether it's going to happen tonight, but it will start happening a lot. At lots of events you go to, at lots of venues which have got Arts Council funding, people are going to ask you to fill out surveys. Okay? So what the Arts Council is mainly worried about for the next 3 years is not the work, it's not making creativity happen across the country, it's making sure people fill out surveys. So if people ask you in venues, people who look stressed, they come to you with a survey and say, please fill this out, just take a couple of minutes and fill it out, it will really help us. So that might start happening tonight. But there are some other exciting things to tell you about. We are setting up, in the process of setting up an audience focus group. So that's completely unrelated to the fact that we've got continuing Arts Council money on its gov. But we're setting up an audience focus group. If you want to be part of that group, you can email us, arena@wlv.ac.uk, put your name forward, and meet 4 times a year. There'll probably be free tickets and probably other things thrown in to incentivise you to come along. But we want to hear what our audiences think about what it is that we do. So if you want to join that, please send us an email, let us know, and we'll put you in touch with people that are looking after that. I say people, it's a person, it's a person. We've also got an advisory board, which we've had for many years, and is looking for new members. So if you want to take a more kind of strategic roll on with the arena and help sort of lead the strategy and whatever else for the next few years, then there is 1 seat remaining on the advisory board. So if you're interested in that, let me know. What else have we got to shout out and about? A couple of shows coming up next week. The Endling and 5 Years, they're both brilliant. They're continuing on our series, so have a look at those in the brochure, which is up there. Got the brochure there. And a week on Saturday, we've got a show called The Blue Badge Bunch, which is billing itself as a taskmaster for people with disabilities. So that sounds like a great idea. So that's it. Oh, we're also now the home of NT Live in Wolverhampton. So if you want to see National Theatre shows projected, then you can do that here. Next door, you've already missed Othello and Life of Pi, they're both brilliant. But coming up in May, we've got Good with David Tennant, and in July we're showing Best of Enemies with David Harewood and Zachary Quinto. So those come up as well, so tickets are already on sale for those. So that's all the things I had to say at the top of the show. We have one piece to share with you this evening, which is by Oliver. Where's Oliver gone? There it is. There it is. It's in here. It's called The Table Manners. Do you want to say anything before you start, or shall I?
Arguments.
In which case, I'm going to say that. No, he doesn't want to say anything before we start. We'll just get underway. Please give a warm round of applause to the company of The Table Manners.
None of you got that story? Oh man, that kills in the States!
Well, I enjoyed it. It definitely beats my husband's brilliant story about the time he found a cabbage leaf in the shape of Catherine Hepburn.
It was the spit of her. I couldn't take my eyes off.
And we are all so glad to hear it, darling. I swear. I can excuse the vegetable ogling, but if I hear another cabbage-related story, I'm going to start scrambling.
Well, I'm glad you like the story anyway.
Oh, you should. I'm not easy to please.
I'll say.
I don't keep it unknown to have superior tastes.
Is that right? And what makes Audrey the authority on taste?
Before I got married, I was one of the foremost columnists in Home Decor Weekly. My scrupulous review of stately homes in issue 17 single-handedly put gaudy chandeliers on the out.
Gaudy? Why so harsh?
Oh, it's a public service, darling. Shame is a good motivator.
It is the duty of the upper classes to surround themselves with wealth, lest one forgets one's own station in society.
Well, I'm not disputing that, Lady Beetroot, but we must reject the antiquated if we are to bring ourselves into a new decade. I mean, nowadays, a 2-ounce bottle of Chanel No. 5 is worth more than its weight in gold. I was shown the simple elegance of brand names on a trip to Paris in my 20s. Of course, I had the tutor, Ms. Claudette Eclair. She wore berets and baked fresh pâtisserie. How I miss that French tart. We would walk arm in arm down the down the Parisian boulevard, basking in the rich champagne sun, window shopping, whilst discussing the latest fashions, immersing ourselves in the world of high-end interior design. And then there were those sleepless nights, spent drinking wine, dancing to music, and I'll never forget her.
I'll bet.
She had this lipstick that made her lips look like ripe red apple, and she lounged in her chair like a model on a postcard, dragging a cigarette softly clamped between her slender fingers. I'd almost forgotten her.
What's wrong with my chandelier?
Wait a minute. I didn't know you were a psychologist.
Columnist, you oaf. You heard a thing I said.
Who's a communist?
I suspect either the measly one or the butler.
Ah, that's why we have to leave the country. Too many of one and none of the other.
Are we ready for the main course, sir?
Don't bore me with the formalities, Conworth. We planned this schedule meticulously.
Apologies, sir. I thought you might not be ready with it for it. What of the riveting dinner conversation taking place?
Nonsense. Bring them out at once. We're behind schedule as it is. Oh, and whilst you're at it, has the last of my guests arrived yet?
I couldn't say, sir. Last I checked, there was no one at the door.
Well, do check again, as she wouldn't want to miss the main course.
I shall get right on it.
And my cue cards, have you forgotten them also? Only I'd like to commit my toast to memory before it is delivered.
Which would you like me to do first, sir?
All of them, Conworth. We're behind schedule already. Honestly, I expected better. I apologise on behalf of my footman.
Right away, sir. Perhaps then afterwards we can have a discussion in regard to that pay rise you promised me.
What pay rise?
Apologies, sir. I don't want to discuss work at the dinner table. It isn't very classy. But between service and looking for your toast and operating as the doorman and wait staff for the evening, one might regard my services as footman indispensable.
Why, you little... I have a right mind to... Did you find my toast?
Let's see. I have looked in the billiard room, the study, the master bedroom, the library, the lavatory, the hall, the second lavatory, the kitchen, the third lavatory, and I couldn't see a single set of cue cards, sir.
Did you check the fourth lavatory?
How could I have forgotten?
Well, get to it. I need them before the end of the 8th course.
Right away. I shall tell the chef to hold the main course until I return.
Hold on, no. Go and fetch the plates first, then check the door, then look for my speech.
If you insist, sir.
Wretch. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are hungry, because I have formulated something exciting for the main course. This is a very special dinner, for a reason that shall become apparent soon, though I hope not too soon. However, first I would like to celebrate with a surprise. As you are some of my closest and dearest friends, I have taken the liberty, at great expense to myself, of devising individual main courses for each of you. 5 courses for 5 guests, tailored to your particular palate and aroma centres. First and foremost, for my best man, something that has been stewing in a simmering red wine sauce for a total of a week and has been Kingsley's baby for just as long. That is, until he decided to have an actual baby, but we all make mistakes. A hearty boeuf bourguignon. The sauce is, of course, wine sauce, of course, burgundy red, pinot noir, as is tradition. No, please. You're welcome. For his pleasant ride. Audrey, a light chicken Caesar salad.
Light?
Please, don't interrupt me. I would prefer you let me finish my declaration before the food has gone cold and rotted on the plates. Thank you. For the incomparable Lady Beetroot. Aunt. Grilled sole and clams in hollandaise with oysters.
Thank you, dear.
And next, recreated from a recipe on an unforgettable summer excursion to the city of Rome many years back, a plate of decadent cacio e pepe, toasted black pepper, grated pecorino romano cheese, and a traditional tonarelli pasta mixed with the starchy pasta water to emulsify the sauce. And for Mr. Hudson, a traditional taste of England, steak and liver pie.
Liver?
You did say you never tried English cuisine before.
What, at the gala?
Et voila.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
We've just had the salad course, so what is this rabbit food doing on my main course?
I thought it was your favourite.
Why do you think I like a light meal?
Well, you've always been trying to lose. You love chicken Caesar?
Lose what? Lose weight?
Don't do that. Don't put words in my mouth.
Well, then don't put your diet crap in mine.
A language, young lady.
You really don't like your dinner. What?
It's nothing really.
He can't eat that.
Oh, no, Schroeder, I assure you, any alcohol from this wine was cooked right off.
No, the thing is...
I suppose there's probably a trace, but it's undetectable, negligible, I assure you.
It's nothing really. I just don't need it anymore.
Who are you?
It looks lovely, really.
Do none of you like your dinners?
That's the less of mine.
Look at it, it's like rummaging inside roadkill. Is all English grub this grisly?
I just don't know why you think I'd like to diet. I mean, are you eating lactose for dessert or something?
All that planning out the window.
No, what I really loved it is before.
That's it. It's all ruined. My main event is in shambles.
Oh, come on. The whole night riding on this? These are gizzards.
Have you enjoyed any of the food I've served so far?
Well,
Does anybody have any complaints to make about the soup?
since you mentioned...
I think you've had quite enough from you, old bean.
Here, darling, I'll trade you. You have my salad.
No, you can't.
Hey, does anyone want this pig slop?
Please.
Well, I actually still can't eat this. It's just...
Hey, here you go, buddy. I'll swap you with this. I'm gonna keep my figure. I'm shooting my next film on Friday. Hey, can I have some of those laxatives if they come?
With pleasure.
Well, this is still new.
Stop it. You can't swap your dinners. That's not how this night was supposed to go.
Is mine even common?
Well, I am extremely grateful for this. You know me so well.
Thank you. Finally, someone who's grateful for the lengths I go to. I do hope you enjoy your sole and clams and oysters, Auntie.
You always did know that I was partial to hollandaise, and you're always so careful of my allergy to seafood. What on earth are you doing?
A slight mistake of the waitstaff, madame. This is yours. Steak and liver pie. Mmm.
Oh, how rustic.
Is everyone happy now? If it's not too much trouble. What? Are you forgetting something? Oh, not at all. Last but not least, I have prepared a personal favourite. Roast pheasant. Garlic confit with fino and porcini mushrooms and petite shallot gratin dauphinoise. Oh.
You must be joking.
What? Another problem?
Where's dishes made?
The poor guy's got no dinner.
Let me just check with the kitchen. They must have forgot to send it out. Copworth! Sir? Where is dishes made? Bring it out immediately. This is absolutely unacceptable. Sir? Well, what are you waiting for? Go, shoo.
There aren't any plates on the line, sir, just yours.
Is that so? No! I mean, how could Pot screw this up so badly? Have you prepared dish or plate of something immediately?
Clams will be
just we can just scrape a little bit of everybody's meal onto their plate.
What did you say?
You cannot be serious.
Oh, come now. Disha deserves a meal, and it's not my fault. Chop, chop.
I simply cannot stand poor table etiquette. It is classless.
I quite agree, noble lady. For a successful night, everybody must learn to mind their social graces.
I had etiquette lessons with my father. He was an upstanding gentleman who didn't like to be seen in the company of a maudlin child, but he was very adamant, and he taught me these simple rules. Table manners, he said, are the rules of life. One should always know instinctively how to conduct oneself in company of others. Without these simple rules, the dinner table might as well be a trough of feed, and the guests rude, gross-sounding creatures. That is why we learn etiquette. I lacked the discipline required of a young girl, you see, and so we would practice day in, day out, every evening. He would query me about the difference between a water goblet, champagne flute, and a sherry glass. And what a gentle and nurturing teacher he was. You unrefined lout! Elbows off the table, pinky underneath the glass before you set it down. We don't tolerate hooligans. He would say, oh, how he is missed.
Yes, well, his legacy is certainly in the right hands.
When I was in the army, we learned how to lay the table ourselves. You see, it was very important to get the order right, so we taught ourselves in one. So, do you remember it?
The one?
Yeah, forks. That's for the fork. Right. Moving on, we got O, which stands for the plate. Just as the F is to the left of the O, so too are the forks placed to the left of the plate.
Goblet, flute, glass. I see.
Okay, that's
R is for the remaining utensils. K and S, which, of course, will be placed to the right plate. K stands for knives, which are set directly to the right of the plate. Well, and finally S, which I'm sure we all know what it stands for, right?
Papa taught me which knife would go to which course too. This knife was for fish, this knife was for salad. And the greatest lesson he taught me was where the largest knife in the kitchen goes. But life moves on, and so do people. My father left us under mysterious circumstances. But his memory goes on with me. I miss him, of course, but a girl must do what a girl must do.
I don't get it.
What?
That pneumatic thing, it sucks.
Well, I don't think so.
How does O stand for plate?
People pass, life moves on.
And R represents the remaining cutlery. But then you say knives and spoons anyway. We're talking about a silverware superfluity.
His portrait of memory goes on with me.
I see. I really do hope you enjoy your clams, your dinner, Auntie.
This looks delicious. Which one did you say, please?
Pinot Noir.
People pass away, life moves.
This looks quite nice also. Really, just quickly, there's some up already.
Right leg over left, bring the spoon up to your mouth.
Wouldn't have killed to wash the lettuce beforehand.
It all smells so good. I'm quite glad to try a bit of everything, honestly.
Be a good girl and learn your table manners.
you can see Act 3 at...
The old rep. Birmingham.
When?
Thursday.
Thursday! Look at that. Give you a little tour of the West Midlands with theatre. Did we miss Act 1 in Dudley on...
Get straight to the meat.
So, what we do now, we don't ask anything of you to be here. All we ask is that you engage in some feedback, which is what we do now. So what we do immediate feedback, which we'll do now on deep and comfortable, and asking lots of challenging questions. And then once we've done that, we'll hand some feedback sheets out, and you can write things down and be more honest if you feel that's what you want to do. But, questions for Oliver? Who's going to start us off? Yes, thank you, Des.
In a world of monologues and two-handers, what made you decide to write a piece for so many people?
It is very difficult to tour this. The reason why I came up with a play that had so many characters was because I wrote this during lockdown. Our first year at uni studying theatre had ended with lockdown. And so going from doing devising to sat alone in your room meant that we didn't have much chance to perform. So I wrote this just as an exercise in me trying to do something without anybody else. And then we actually did perform this for City of Culture in 2021 as part of the uni. It was sort of over the summer project. And the benefit of having a play like this is that everybody gets their own bit. So throughout the play, everybody's got their own little monologue, or their own little character moment, everybody's got laughs. I just wanted to make a play that was dense with fun for actors. Really, that was why I had so many parts. And then I realised that it's easier to tour a piece with fewer actors. So. But I'd rather, and the point of this is it's very lavish anyway, so if you're doing this play, you spare no expense. You've got a chandelier, you've got as many actors as you can want. So but it's mostly for the enjoyment of it. There's something for everybody, I'd hope, anyway.
Nice.
Stunts.
All the producers in the room gone.
Yeah.
It's a chandelier. Could possibly go wrong. For those of us that can't make it to Birmingham on Thursday night, where's it go next?
So obviously it's the dinner party just goes worse, and it's the host's own fault. He expects too much, and eventually he snaps. There's just so much not happening to plan. You can't get his speech out. He's getting less and less time to talk, and so he snaps at all his guests, and he berates them thoroughly for ruining this perfect night, for being vegan and for just being very badly mannered. The real snapping point is that he's doing all this because obviously his fortune lies with his auntie here, until he finds out that she's gambled it all away at Vegas. So there's no point in him having the night anyway. But after all the guests leave, the only one that remains is Disher, and there's this sort of lull towards the end where the host takes down the facade, and Disher's actually the one that gives him sort of a pep talk and makes it a night to remember in the end anyway, even though there was no speech and there was the missing guest that never showed up. Thank you so much for watching it. It's been nice to see it again. I was saying to the cast here, I did film a production when I did it for City of Culture, but it's still being edited, and that's going on 2 years now. So I was just glad to see it again personally. So thank you so much for having me. Yeah.
Always absolute pleasure. It's always nice to have you speak, and it's nice to have something. I'm sure it's really something trying to sort of actors. Make it happen. But it's nice to see something with lots of characters.
Yeah.
Because I think as Dad said, it's partly the nature of the scale that we work at in small venues, but most of what we see is, when 4 starts to feel like a big cast.
Yeah.
So 7 is, a nice treat.
You'd be lucky to have 7. Thank you so much for signing up for it as well. I'm quite lucky to have so many people on stage with me. Yeah. They'll all be slagging it off in the survey.
Just add another thing. So obviously you've wrote it, you've had it performed, and then you come back and do it again on Thursday. What's the next step for that?
Well, considering it is a big cast, what I can imagine, and particularly with the nature of where theatre's going with workshops and social purpose, I can imagine it's being quite good in schools. I mean, I'm sort of still writing it with the idea of amateur theatre and my schooling in mind, so big cast is really where I like this play to stem from. So I can imagine this being a nice thing to bring into colleges and secondary schools, particularly as arts education is suffering. It's like jumping, sinking ship. So having a big cast with lots of juicy parts, I think that's where I could imagine this going. Obviously, I'd like to just see it on stage and be in it. That's the, it's mostly just for the fact that I like seeing this play. But I think that's where I could imagine having a real teeth hold is in schools, maybe.
That's a question.
Yes.
Obviously, having a table obviously sets the scene very well, but there's a kind of, you get a bit trapped behind it.
Yeah.
And for us with our scripts, it's great to have a table.
Yeah.
Is the table here for the whole thing?
It is, yes.
How did you find that when you did all of it before? Was that a help, a hindrance? Or?
There was a lot of challenges with it. I think if I was to do it again fully staged, I would want to play with what the table could be. Obviously, it's the titular role, so it's got to be on stage. But I'd like to play with the formation of it, so we can have the opportunity. I mean, when we did do it before, there was a chance to move around the front, and by the end as well, obviously, with dinner plates flying and things, there was the opportunity to wreck the table a little bit. So I'd like to play with that, but that is, this is the things that we were saying, once it's written, it's like, it's not my problem anymore. But then if I'm going to be in it, it is my problem. So I'm interested to see what happens with the table, but obviously, it's one of those things that it's a creative solution, I think. It's a play that necessitates having a table, which is dead theatre, so I'd be interested to play with it and see.
Can I have a follow-up?
Yes, you can.
I'm just thinking about the Sam Shepherd play True West, where they have toast on stage, toast on toast on bread to make toast. And the smell of toast in the theatre. So I think that the idea of kind of food in the theatre, I think is quite interesting. Did you do it with the roasted pheasant, etc.?
We had a mixture of real food and latex props and things. We were very lucky because my co-director, one of my co-directors, for the previous production, she was more a stage manager-minded person, and so I said we should just have blank plates because it's going to be easier and we can mime it. But she was like, no, I'm going to make real. And she worked in the kitchen, so she made these beautiful plates up, and we wasted a ton of ready mash, like the water mixed mash. And we had to use it for all different, because obviously we had different courses coming out, so at the end it's tiramisu. Tiramisu is expensive. And we had, the person playing dish as well was vegan, so it's like, we can't have real tiramisu, so we had to use this no milk based mash. Well, exactly, we were like, we're going to make a vegan tiramisu, and we looked at the price and we were like, that's not the budget.
Chandelier, 7 actors.
Well, yeah, we wasted so much money on the chandelier that we couldn't afford the vegan tiramisu. So we used slices of mash and dusted them in chocolate, and everybody hated them, apart from the person that played dish, and he loved it. By the end of the it was disgusting. But yeah, that'd be another creative solution, is to figure out how to do it, because obviously you want a bit of the moving the food around. But obviously, they don't need to eat on stage, so it's not necessary.
It's
that it's
the visual of seeing all different things, and then when it moves, you see people's reactions to the.
And I guess you've got the idea of like a clean white tablecloth and getting dirty and messy.
Yeah, well, the amount of nights we did it, we'd sit there vanishing it, wouldn't we, the night before, because we'd be like, damn, we've got it all over, we need to vanish the tablecloth. So there are a lot of problems with it, but it's a lot of fun to come up with those creative solutions. And backstage effectively operates like a kitchen when you've got the real food going. You have almost got the dinner rush. You have actually got a dinner party to go on. But this is the thing, is we did it for City Culture. We applied for £1,000, and to uni students, that's like £1 million. We spent all of that £1,000 on making it the most lavish production we could, and we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing it. But if I did it again, it'd be nice to see alternatives to those creative problems on the food and table. Very good.
Broadway version, you've got like a rotating stage.
Yeah.
Desserts.
Exactly, yeah. Actual vegan. Well, yeah, because obviously you've got this empty space right here, and my lecturer said we should have a fountain there. Yeah, so if within the budget you'd say fountain.
The academics.
So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to make it really lavish and have a lot of fun with it.
Bring down the food like on the tray, the rolls, and
Yeah.
it's a very fancy.
Well, yes, exactly. And when we did the Giving Get the Plates, his production, we had all of our